Yes, hello, welcome on into 11 Sports here for the one season challenge with Sheffield United. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for more daily Football Manager content. And if you missed the last episode, go and have a look at it. It was a kind of introductory episode to exactly what the one season challenge is, and kind of introducing the Sheffield United team to you for this one season challenge that we have with Sheffield United. I mentioned in that episode that we were going to do a bit of a kind of transfer special if we'd made any signings, and then we'd play our first game against Everton today. Well, in terms of transfers, if we look at our transfer history here, nothing's happened. The last person that came in was Ethan Ampadu, and that wasn't done by us. The only person going out of really any real interest is Oliver Burke, who we sold to Norwich for £4.8 million. Yeah, we had £1 million. We couldn't really buy anybody. So if we are going to bring anyone in, we're going to have to sell people first, and no one has been sold yet. So apologies for a slightly disappointing transfer, especially bit. You might have caught as we worked our way through, there's an offer in just now for Tin Jedvaj from Bayer Leverkusen of £2.8 million. We currently have 6.2 available in the budget. That's only there as a precaution in case some of the defenders get sold, because there have been some offers coming in for some players that are in the 20s of millions of pounds, and they're a similar quality of player to Tin Jedvaj here who we could get in for two. So we could make a bit of profit on a player and replace him with a fairly equal player. So we'll see what happens. But that's for the next episode. In terms of this one, there's not been any transfers. What there has been, however, is quite a few friendlies, and we are unbeaten in the pre-season this season. We started off with a game against our under-23s, and we won that 2-0, thankfully. That would have been pretty embarrassing had we lost that one. We played against KV Kortrijk. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. We drew 2-2 though, and we did not play well, nor did we play well against Sondertjeg. It's a Scandinavian team. No, didn't play well. We beat Karvina 2-0, and then we played against Southend, a team who I actually know. They're in League 2. We beat them 3-0. A very nice performance. We then played a friendly cup where we beat Livorno in the first round and Kaiserslautern in the second round in the final. And then we played up against Inter Milan, and we won 2-0. I know what you're thinking. Inter Milan must not have been playing a full-strength team. You're right. There was some non-full strength team in it, but there was still Lukaku and Eriksen and De Vrij and Ranocchia and Handanovic and Ashley Young. Okay, maybe not fully full strength then if they were playing Ashley Young in the team, but we still did beat them 2-0 thanks to goal for Billy Sharp and Liz Mousset. I'm going to say his name is Mousset. I can't quite remember how it's actually getting pronounced. I can't imagine it be called Mousset because he's French, so it must be Mousset. So all in all, a very, very successful pre-season for us. Hopefully, we can continue that form into today's game up against Everton in the English Premier League. Everton, of course, are a team who are top half team, the sort of type we want to try and maybe get a result against, especially at home if we're looking for that top half finish. One other thing I promised you I'd talk about, which you might have caught as we went through the Inter Milan game, was the tactic that we're playing. And this is the tactic that we are going for. It's going to go for a kind of 5-3-2 with the wing backs, similar to the way that Sheffield United play in real life. And this is what I think is going to be my full strength side. Ramsdale in goal as a sweeper keeper in there, and three centre backs being O'Connell, Basham and Egan. I don't think you can really complain too much about that. The other options at centre back are Phil Jagielka, who's 37 and doesn't know how to run. Ethan Ampadu might end up in there. He's going to progress as he stays at this club and gets more experience. He'll improve as well. But they're the three centre-backs I think we're going to start the season with at the back. O'Connell, as you can see, is wanted by Leon, and he's worth £20 million apparently. So if they offer £25-30 million for him, and we bring in Tin Jedvaj as a replacement, who only costs 2.8, we could make a bit of money and perhaps buy some players elsewhere. In the full-back position, no surprise, Baldock on the right and Stevens on the left, with Bogle and Bryan as adequate backups on the bench. The midfield, we're going to go with Norwood as a deep line playmaker, Lundstrom as a box-to-box, and Berg as an advanced playmaker. Now, Berg prefers playing as a deep line playmaker, but I think having him slightly further up the field would be beneficial for us as well, because we really need to make a link between midfield and attack. And Berg, I think, is our most creative talent. Certainly our best player, I would say. So he's got to get him involved in the play a little bit further forward. I think that would be ideal for him. And then up front, I'm not really sure whom I prefer to at the moment. As McBurney played all right in the game we played with him last time. I've been trying to sell him, as you can see. He's not particularly happy. But no one's really wanting to pay any money for him. Crystal Palace were offering 9 million. And according to his thing, he's worth 20. So I wasn't going to accept that. If someone offered about 20, 25 million, I would take it. Because I don't really like McBurney. But if we have to use him, we have to use him. He is one of the best strikers at the club, apparently, according to Star Rating. And alongside him is Mousset. But you've got McGoldrick on the bench. Billy Sharp, who scored a goal in the last game against Inter Milan. And Ryan Brewster as well, who's had a fairly decent pre-season as well, who probably feels a little bit hard done to that he's not starting the season. But I think this is a 11 that we're going to go with. But there's adequate replacements on the bench if we need them. John Fleck covering that midfield area alongside Ben Osborne, who's been doing all right, especially in that advanced playmaker role, actually. He's had a pretty decent off-season. Ethan Ampadu can cover in the midfield or the defence. A very versatile player on our bench for us. But I say there's not going to be really any ins unless there are some outs. And we don't have the deepest of squads. You could probably get rid of a couple of strikers and maybe bring in a better one. You know, lose two and use that money to bring in a better striker. Something like that. But yeah, there's not a huge number of kind of players that are worth much to bring in someone better than them. You know, it could be a bit of a slog should we not start the season particularly well. But I say we still have a month till the transfer window ends, so you never know. But you waited long enough. I've disappointed you with a poor transfer window and, surprise, surprise, playing the tactics that Sheffield United were actually playing in real life. So let's get into this game against Everton and see how we do. We are at home. Let's see if we can get a good result for the start of the season. And Everton, obviously, at this point, still managed by Carlo Ancelotti, even though they're now managed in real life by Rafa Benitez, and Ancelotti's away at Real Madrid. And you can see their teams: Coleman, Keane, Godfrey and Digne, Alan, Decore and Sigurdsson, with Rodriguez and Richarlison on the wings, and Calvert-Lewin up front. A very, very strong side. No Jordan Pickford in goal. It's Robin Olsen who's starting, so maybe we can take advantage of that. So the teams walk out. We are wearing our white and red. That was the wrong way around to say that. Red and white stripes. Everton wearing their blue. There's a highlight early on. James Rodriguez swings the ball in and it's bounced about and eventually cleared away. That was within a minute. And we nearly conceded a goal from a corner. Not ideal, but hopefully we can only improve from here. Goal kick by Aaron Ramsdale out to Basham. Slow build-up play from the back. Let's see how we deal with this. Basham up the right wing to Baldock, who comes in field, finds Lundstrom and Berg. Berg comes forward with the ball, out to Baldock, who heads it over, and Godfrey clears it to Digne, and Digne toward James, but Lundstrom hits it from distance, and what a goal from John Lundstrom. His first goal of the season, obviously. It's the first game. Well, what a goal. That was totally unexpected. The ball was cleared away by Godfrey and Digne across the field. Lundstrom intercepted the ball that was meant to go to James, hits it from 25 yards out, and that is an absolute screamer. And we're up 1-0, 15 minutes into this game. That is a good way to start this game up against Everton. What a goal! We have only had 2 shots in the whole game according to the stats, one of them being that outstanding goal. Our expected goals is 0.03. That shows you how unlikely that goal was from Lundstrom. Look at this XG down here. We are not meant to have scored goals. Everton should have. But you know what? We're going to take it. What a goal from Lundstrom. We've reached half-time now. Everton dominating the shots, but we've had a lot of the ball. And we're up 1-0. And you know what? We'll take that. If we take 1-0s every week, we'll win the league. Don't take that as gospel. We're not going to win the league, but hey, it's a good start so far. The second half begins, and it's a throw-in for Coleman on the right-hand side for Everton. He comes down the line, swings it in. It's cleared away by O'Connell. And Alan gets onto it, plays it to Digne. He's met by Baldock, but into Richarlison, who's through. It's a good save from Ramsdale. And is that going to be the end of the highlight? It is indeed. Leeds are beating Brighton 4-0 at the moment. Goodness me, that's a total demolition job. And Man United in the early game actually beat Chelsea 5-1. And that's why they're currently sat top of the table at the moment. They've changed Everton, so they have. They brought Iwobi on in the wing, and Richarlison's moved up front. but we've played 70 minutes now. There's not really been too many highlights in this game, but we are winning it. I think we've got some fairly tired legs, so we might make a few changes. Oliver Norwood has not played well, so we'll bring on John Fleck for him. And none of the strikers have played particularly well either, so let's bring off Ollie McBurney and bring on Billy Sharp. There's 15 minutes to go, and the Digne throws it into Iwobi. He gets the ball back. He gets past his man. Will he swing this ball into the box? No, he finds Alan and finds Gomez and hits it off the frame of the goal, and it's headed away by Stevens. And Decore finds Santon. Back to Decore and James Rodriguez. Decore. Gomez, who just had that thunderous strike hit off the frame of the goal. Out to Digne. This ball will come into the box, you imagine. It's a good chance by Baldock, and he clears the ball away. And Mousset's on it now. And is this going to be a chance for us? He goes down this right-hand side. He's in space. He's got one man in the middle, though. There's not a lot of attacking options in that box, but he has won a corner kick. And we're going to take this corner kick. Who's going to take it? It's John Fleck. He swings this ball in. Can we get the header? No, Michael Keane heads it away. And there's 10 minutes to go. And we've had a little bit more of the ball and more of the chances since this second half's happened. But now Everton have got the ball, and the ball was now cleared away. That was a good chance for Iwobi. It's going down the left-hand side again. Digne with it into Iwobi. Back to Digne. Swings it into Richarlison. It's headed away. Alan hits it from miles out. Oh my goodness me. There has been 2 outstanding goals from midfielders in this game. That one was probably better than Lundstrom's. What a finish from Alan. From about 30 yards out. Iwobi gets the ball here back to Digne. The ball swung and it's headed away, and Alan hits that on the half volley. Oh my goodness me. What a goal. There's 10 minutes to go, and it is 1-1 here in this game up against Everton. I've brought in Ampadu, and he's for some reason playing as advanced playmaker. Possibly not his best position, but hey, who cares? Sharp's got into the ball here. He's crossed it over to Mousset, who gets challenged in the box. Is that going to be a penalty? That didn't look like a penalty, but we'll take it if it is one. Michael Oliver, as a referee, is going to go and look at it. Lundstrom played the ball down the line to Sharp. He played the ball across to Mousset, and it looked like a fair challenge. But they're checking on the monitor for a penalty. They're checking to see if it is going to be one. Michael Oliver comes back out, looking at his wee monitor. What's he going to say? No penalty. Then why did we stop the game? What is the point in that? Let the game play on. That just gave me hope that there wasn't when there didn't need to be any. And we've reached full time with a 1-1 draw at home to Everton. And you know what? I think I'm going to take that. None of the team played particularly well in that game. In fact, a lot of them played quite badly. Lundstrom, the only one above a 7 rating, and that's thanks to his goal. And I tell you, it was a fairly boring game, wasn't it? It really was. But we'll take that. A 1-1 draw against Everton for the first game of the season. A point on the board against a team who's expected to finish top half, probably getting into the European places. We will take that. So that point is currently got us up in 7th. There's a lot of teams that haven't played. It's not much to look at really league table at the moment. Other results around the grounds, though, I say Man United won 5-1 against Chelsea thanks to 4 goals from Anthony Martial. Palace have beaten Burnley. Arsenal have beaten Fulham. Brighton had a bit of a comeback in that game against Leeds, but it was still 4-2 they won, and West Ham beat Southampton 4-1. So the transfer window closes on the 5th of October. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back for the Arsenal and Aston Villa games and then have that last couple of days into the transfer window and see if we do make any signs between now and then, or if we make any onto transfer deadline day. That means we will play against Huddersfield in the Carabao Cup and Man City in the Premier League. Off camera, I'll show you a game against Man City later on in the season, I imagine. But we'll play against Arsenal on the Monday Night Football, where we're on the telly, and then against Aston Villa in a game that we'd like to win. 2 home games, so games we'd like to win, especially the Aston Villa game. Might be hard to beat Arsenal, they're a good side, but we'll look to try and take a point off them, and then there'll be that transfer deadline day. If you have enjoyed this episode, I know it was maybe a little bit shorter than you're imagining because there was no transfer dealings really to talk about. Please do leave a like anyway. I'm sure you have enjoyed it. 2 fantastic goals in this game. Something certainly to enjoy for anyone who loves watching fantastic goals on Football Manager, and who doesn't like that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've just started a new series on the channel here with the 1 season challenge with Sheffield United. I would love for you to come on board for the journey if you haven't already subscribed. And until the next one, we'll play against Arsenal, Aston Villa, and have transfer deadline day. We'll see you then.